Habari habari, kila pundamilia. That's Swahili for hello hello every zebra. This is Wordwise Analyzes. I'm your host, Wordwise. If you're more than 4 years old, you probably figured out that Zecora is obviously based on people from Africa. But which part is she from? Africa is a big place. It's 4 times the size of the United States, has a billion people on it from thousands of different tribes and people groups, and there are over 50 countries in Africa. Is there any one place or people we could point to and say, that's where Zecora is from? First, let's look at zebras on Earth. There are 3 zebra species, the plains zebra, the mountain zebra, and Grevy's zebra. Grevy's zebra, which is named for a dead white guy who didn't really discover it, is the largest wild equine on Earth. It shares more characteristics with mules and donkeys than horses. Since Zecora is built like a pony and not like a donkey, I think it's safe to rule out the Grevy's zebra. The plains zebra is the most common, found all over eastern and southern Africa. It's what you think of when you think zebra. They live in large herds made up of several harems. Zecora's stripe pattern and solitary behavior is not much like a plains zebra, so let's consider that last species, the mountain zebra. Their stripes don't go all the way around, so the belly is solid white. Mountain zebras also have a different social structure. Although mares usually hang around a stallion in smaller harems, there's enough migration that you might see a mare wandering by herself. Mountain zebras are an endangered species. They're mostly found in South Africa and neighboring Namibia. Well, that's pretty cool. It looks like we've narrowed it down, but do Zecora's cultural traits match? Perhaps Zecora's most distinctive feature are the neck rings that she wears. Neck rings are found in Africa, but also Southeast Asia. Rather than pushing the head up, they work to lengthen the neck by pushing the shoulders down. I use the term work loosely because they do a lot of damage to the body over time, particularly to the lungs. Fortunately, ponies are already long-necked. I'm sure no harm has come to Zecora. So in Africa, neck rings, called zila, were most prominently worn by the Ndebele tribe. Although not commonly worn anymore, they were given by wealthy husbands to their wives and were believed to have special powers. So maybe that means Zecora is a widow and left the herd after her husband died. That would be pretty exciting to see, I think. In the real world, the Ndebele can be found in South Africa and Botswana. So that's 2 pieces of supporting evidence that Zecora might be from South Africa. Let's also look at Zecora's house and her decorations. She keeps a lot of masks and gourds inside. We see there's also a dream catcher on the door, but that's Amerindian, so we'll just ignore that. The elongated masks we see are most like the styles found on the West African coast, in countries like Benin, Ghana, and Ivory Coast, where unfortunately no zebras can be found. Zecora also has a leopard skin bed in her tree, which is a little scary since leopards might actually be intelligent in Equestria. Leopards can be found everywhere in sub-Saharan Africa except South Africa. So strike 1 against that. The gourds in her house, called calabashes in Africa, are found all over the sub-Sahara, but most commonly in West Africa and South Africa. The Ndebele have a particular art style for their houses, which don't resemble Zecora's tree at all, and instead look more like a modern art painting. So it's starting to look like Zecora's character might be more of a mishmash of different regions rather than having one particular origin. So finally, let's look at Zecora's language. Her name is from a real African language. Her name means zebra in Oromo. Oromo is a minority language spoken in Ethiopia, which is in eastern Africa. Zebras can be found there, so that's interesting. When the main 6 invade Zecora's house in Bridal Gossip, the episode where she is introduced in, Zecora shouts a few lines in her native language. The episode's transcript doesn't provide any additional information, but Lauren Faust's Reddit account does. Faust wrote, "We did not have the time or resources to have authentic Swahili, so we asked the voice actress to ad-lib some African-sounding gibberish. I was a bit disappointed, but I just imagine it's not Swahili, it's zebra." End quote. But if it was Swahili, that language is spoken in East Africa, in countries like Uganda and Tanzania, but not really Ethiopia, and definitely not South or West Africa. So there you go. Zecora is from sub-Saharan Africa, but not the Congo. And that's about as specific as we can get. If we wanted to make the most sense of what we have, we could say that Zecora is a mountain zebra originally from South Africa, but traveled around enough to absorb languages from East Africa and knickknacks from the West African coast. And now she lives in Equestria, which is the United States. However, I think if the show or comics ever display Zecora's homeland, her people will be plain zebras, who are a mishmash of all sub-Saharan Africa, just like her. Except Zecora is just weird for having left the herd. And now it's time to say goodbye, or kwaheri in Swahili. But before that, it's that time again, the time we have in every video, the final word of encouragement. Since Zecora is a model of wisdom, I'll read from Proverbs 1, verses 5 through 7. I'll even make it rhyme like the zebras. A wise man hears and increases in learning. He acquires wise counsel and is understanding. Read in no proverbs and complexity, the words of the wise and their mystery. The fear of Yahweh is the start of all knowledge. Fools find in wisdom and instruction no solace. Thank you for watching. Please and thank you, leave a comment below. If you liked this video, leave a like. And if you want more, subscribe. As always, thanks for listening. This is Wordwise, signing off.